Well, I'm Chris, and this is my part 3 on the RC Jeep project. Just trying to get every little imperfection out before we put the first coat. So we're ready to paint. I'm going to start with a super light coat. I'm going to go and let that dry for about 30 minutes, and then we'll put the second coat on it. Let's go ahead and get that second coat on there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let it dry, put one more coat on, and we'll look at it when we're painting the flares and rocker panels. So we got the body masked off in yellow. We're going to paint the fender flares and that little rocker panel guard. Okay, so always do some tests so you don't get any reactions. We got that semi-gloss black right there. That's what we're going to use. Let's hope this works out. So we're going to put 2 or 3 coats like that. Hopefully it'll turn out good. If you notice, I forgot to put a freaking piece of paper there and got a little bit of overspray. Hopefully it doesn't turn out too bad. But let me go ahead and get this thing finished up and we'll look at it when it's done. So the flares and rockers came out pretty good. We did have some little issues. That's going to happen. Just leave it alone. Don't try to mess with it because you can screw it all up. So this isn't overspray. It's like the dust. So it does kind of come off. I did spray this with that interior paint. Hopefully we can scrub that off and not have to respray it. So let's go ahead and start painting all the little details on this Jeep. Okay, so you can paint the little details with the brush. I personally do not like it. I like to do it with a paint pen. So I got these from Michael's. They're oil-based. Do a little test on a piece before you go put paint on this because you could have some reactions. So when you're using paint pens, you got to be extra careful because they'll drip paint out and it can get on your car and screw it all up. If you do get some overspray or paint, you can wipe it off with WD-40. It really does work. So I got the silver paint pen. We're going to do the headlights first because the lenses are clear and it could not look right with it yellow. So we have our extra fine tip black paint pen. So first thing we're going to paint is the little grills on the cowl. This is sketchy doing this, man. So just get it on there the best you can. You can always go back and touch the black up with a Sharpie later. Okay, try to get a lot of paint on there and cover that one face as quick as possible. So then we're going to take a fine tip and fill it in a little bit better. Now avoid trying to go straight up to the body. You're going to have to leave a little bitty gap. It's not going to look good when you first think about it, but it will eventually. So then what you do is take like a sewing needle and get down in there in those little detail areas if that bothers you that much. Okay, so I just wanted to give you an idea on the options of using the paint pen. You got to be real careful. You may have to go touch them up a little bit, but to me it's a lot safer than using a brush. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up these two and we'll look at it when it's done. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get some stickers on this Jeep. Dang. That's freaking crazy. Look at that. Got the new bright sticker. Much respect to this company for making this project possible. I love this freaking TJ body. Look at that. Beautiful. Tail light. Looking like a real Jeep. So we got all the lights in there looking good. Gonna have to do a little touch up right there. Nothing I could have done about that. I had no idea that was gonna happen. Everything looking pretty sharp. So the dash just snapped right back in. Let's get the roll cage in. So I forgot to paint the yellow around the door. Let's go ahead and mask it off because I didn't show how that's done. So there's all kinds of masking tapes you can buy. Tamiya makes some tape that I should have bought. I don't know why I didn't. I bought this 3M vinyl tape to go around the curves. So whenever you're painting plastic, you have to scuff it. I had it masked off and I just scuffed it with some Scotch-Brite. If you don't, the surface is too smooth and the paint will not stick to it. So just take some alcohol on a rag and you want to clean the entire surface that you're going to tape and paint to. So we're going to go ahead and put 2 or 3 coats on it like that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get the seats back in. They've been painted with real car interior paint. Okay, so I went ahead and put some masking tape right there so the paint job doesn't get all scratched up. I guess you could use some clear tape if you couldn't find a color. So I got the little control for the winch. We're going to go ahead and mount it right there in the top of that center console. Alright, so I got the little switch for the winch mounted in the console. This thing's finished drying. Let's get it in there. Let's hope we don't scratch this up. So these are real aluminum wheels with real aluminum center caps and 5 little Allen head lug screws or whatever you want to call them. So just make sure you get them all in there before you start to tighten. We're going to tighten these down a little bit because if I lost one of these, I wouldn't even know where to find one. Okay, so I got some all thread in there just to mock it up until I could find the right parts. We had to shorten everything 1 centimeter, even the dry shaft. Everything worked out 100%. We got the battery hooked up. Alright, so then the winch. And then we got the little plug on the auxiliary. I really don't know what any of this stuff is called, sorry. Alright, let's turn this thing on and see what happens. So the ECX Barrage has front and back LEDs. If I would have known they worked that good, I would have put them in the body. Maybe we can do that in another video if these videos get some views. So this winch just kind of runs forward and back in. You see the little winch, and then okay, so that's pretty cool. So it's got the little toggle right there in the center console. Okay, so then I made these little rocker guards out of plastic and all thread. They mount to the chassis. Let me go ahead and get these on because we got to let that little speaker charge up for a little while. We got the little Bluetooth speaker charged up. I should have got a yellow or a black one. I didn't think I was going to use this case, but it actually makes it sound a little bit better. Okay, so we got Harry Potter and a little subwoofer in there. Now I made these out of all thread and plastic and JB Weld. They came out pretty good. The real ones are expensive, so I'll just leave those on there for right now. So you ready to go, Harry Potter? Give it a rev, Harry. So that's just a little app I have hooked up to the Bluetooth speaker. It's pretty cool. So this thing is actually really freaking cool. Let's get some music on it. So shortly after starting this project, I found another new bride on eBay. This is the same Jeep that I started with, except this is the red one. $50 shipping and everything. But you can see a little bit of work and a little bit of time. They look completely different, but they are, God is my witness, exactly the same freaking models or whatever. Exactly the same. Well, the Jeep is finished, and this thing came out 100 times better than I ever imagined. It's not exactly like my Rubicon, but it looks pretty freaking close. But what really made this project cool was this little speaker right here. So this is a great desktop or personal, mainly for podcasts, or if you listen to music that doesn't have bass. If you listen to music with bass, this thing is not going to do anything for you. But I do like this little speaker. I'll probably buy another one just to have it as like a prank speaker. That's why I bought it, because this is one you could like put under somebody's chair and make like a baby crying and freak everybody out with it. This is perfect for that because it's $25, and if somebody got mad in your prank and destroyed it, wouldn't be the end of the world. But much respect for this company right here. I really like this thing. Like I said, this project would not be the same without that speaker. So let's start this thing up one more time and get this video finished. So this would also be cool if you had a kid, so the parent could control it or let the kid control it, and one of y'all on your phone sits there and makes the engine noises. Are you gonna blow that engine up, Harry? Okay, well that's it for the video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.